welcome into another edition of Coach's Corner. This is the EHL edition with Coach Josh Fusco of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. And Coach, coming off a big weekend here, you guys go 2-0 against New York Apple Corps. An exciting game on Saturday night. You had a little bit of ups and downs, but it ended well in a 6-5 victory. And then yesterday, a nice 5-2 win for you. Let's start with those two games. What were your thoughts from each?
Well, a lot of positives all across the board. Like you said, it got a little hairy there for a while, and Apple Corps they're like we talked about last week. They're an established organization, and they had a lot more older guys, and that's going to be the theme this year. I guess I'm already hearing it. We're the young guns, but the positive out of that was we came out to a better start. Mm-hmm. You can see that the boys kind of settled in with the systems and kind of getting familiar with the level of play and the speed of the game. And they handled it well. And then you can kind of see, hey, once they popped in a goal or two, and then, we kept going. And then I'm kind of glad what happened.
Right.
They came back, they scored, 4 goals there, and bing, bang, boom. And then next thing you know, it's like, you're trying to battle that the adversity of that. So I was pretty pleased and happy with the response, the whole group, the whole team. We kind of hung together there and put the foot back on the gas pedal, and they were able to close it out. So, that's the big positive in that game. And then Sunday, coming out and doing it again. Quick start, fast start. And then it was kind of one of those things, hey, like, we got to have that cutthroat mentality now. Right. Finish them. Finish the game off. Get the 2 points. Don't let them come back on us here. We got to learn how to establish ourselves and make that presence known that once we got you, you're down and out. Right. So, the only negative that I really could take out of the weekend was the penalties. That's we got to nip that in the butt and nip it in the butt right now, and that's got to stop. So, but I was pretty happy last night. It was nice to kind of kick your feet back a little bit. We worked hard. The boys worked hard this week, and it was great.
Yep. Well, and again, for those that may or may not have seen the Saturday game, it started out to a 4-0 lead for the Knights. Apple Corps comes back and ties it, and then main catalyst for the Knights coming away with the victory there, and we had him in here last week for an interview with Jake Fuss. He's a guy you're very familiar with from the NA3A AHL last year. I'm talking to him last week. He was talking about how the speed is different in this league and the EHL, and just the adjustment is challenging, but it's something that he's obviously working hard to make. And I don't know, to me it looks like he's just as good as he was last year. He's putting in goals at, again, a really high rate. He seems to be, he's got a goal streak going right now, so he's just continues to not only score goals, but there was that nice setup yesterday with Tyler Nielsen in the middle of the slot. How much of a benefit is it to have a guy like that you can rely on to make the big plays in the big moments?
For a coach, it's tremendous. I mean, it's one of those things you can trust him, and you know that he's going to elevate his game to the level, and he kind of, he's out to a hot start of the season, and I wasn't worried about him. I wasn't worried. Jake's a kid that obviously has been here, and I have a good connection with him as a coach to a player, and the first thing I told him was, I want you to bring that leadership role and bring that mentality that you're the man. Yeah. And I want you to be the man. And he kind of took charge right then and there. And, one thing that we talked about last week was we got to get a little bit more emotional on the bench, have a little bit more of an attitude. Guys got to pick each other up when a block shot, a big save, a hit, whatever, a good little chip play or something like. Get some emotion, get fired up, let the boys know, let the guy know he's getting back, back to the bench. And Jake took charge in that. Mm-hmm. Like Saturday night, I really saw him a lot more vocal than he's usually pretty quiet. Mm-hmm. He just does the job on the ice. Right. And you can kind of see him just come all about everything come together. It was just tremendous. It's great having him on that bench. It's great having him on, the presence that he has in this locker room and in this building. It's awesome. It's good.
Yeah, and then you had 2 new additions through the last week, Anthony Starzy and Austin Weber. Weber comes out, and I think he picks up 4 assists in 2 games, according, I believe, if I'm citing the stat sheet right. Something, at least in multiple assists.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We have to double check.
Hey, that was the good thing, too, is a lot of guys got points. So it was good to see that guys are they're settling in, and
Right.
it's not just Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say Jake because Nima,
Right.
Jake Nima
Right.
as well. Hey, first
Yep.
junior goal, 2-goal game, and
Yep.
Cody Rumsey, Alex Morawski, you can see everybody starting to chip in there.
Right.
So that's nice, and it's a little bit more settling as a coach.
Right. Sure, but with those new guys, we did talk about them very briefly last week.
Yeah.
But with them coming on and again being kind of experienced guys who have played against some really tenured junior players and even gone to some NAL camps, what kind of things did you see out there that boosted the lineup that you were hoping to see?
Their speed, their speed and their veteran presence. Starzy's coming from 18U, but spent some time with the Philadelphia Rebels and was with them in camp. Got a couple exhibition games, so he's got that experience. Austin Weber, the same thing. He's played junior hockey. He's a '97. So he's got that veteran presence to him, and you can tell the way they played the game that they had that. It was great having that in the lineup. They're shifty, small, quick, shifty guys. At Starzy's, the speed is phenomenal.
Right.
That kid can just fly by the D, and I think once they get a little bit more settled in, and you're going to see them take off. So that's exciting. But no, it was great having them in the lineup. I'm really looking forward to what those two guys are going to do for us and do for the Knights organization. And hey, it's the big thing with these boys is opening the door to many more doors.
Sure. And now, flipping it over to the defensive end of the ice, you mentioned there was a bevy of penalties, especially yesterday.
Yeah.
But you guys finished the weekend, I believe, yesterday with 8 of 9 on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
I believe that was the final number. What kind of things, again, did you see from guys that are returners, like from the NA3A team, like Brady Hansen, David Fostel, you saw Red Padgett out there.
Yeah.
What kind of jump did you see from them from week 1, against Little Flyers, to week 2, where it seemed they were making pretty sound plays down in their own zone?
It's the simple little things of the game of hockey that I harped on this week, and one of those being is we got to eat pucks. Zach O. JP Nats, they just are shot blocking machines. It was incredible. It was a no-brainer. You put them out there, they're going to get the job done, and that's one of those positives. Zach blocks a shot and makes good plays and doing the little bitty things, and he gets rewarded with a shorthanded goal. I was blown away.
On air, I did a double take.
I think I did a fist bump on the bench. It was
a
awesome.
laser. It was an absolute laser.
It's those little things that make the difference, and those little things that get you to wins.
Sure.
And again, they're veterans to junior hockey. JP is a veteran. Zach's a veteran. He played in the NA3 last year. So, you can kind of see them take charge as well.
Sure.
Kind of do what Jake Fuss is doing, is taking charge, stepping up to the plate. Red Padgett is just a warhorse. He's you can ask that kid to climb a brick wall, and he'll do it. He'll find a way to run through the brick wall for you. So he's a leader. He wore the A last year, and he's kind of stepping into that role again. And just that presence, that big body on the ice, and he hustles. He doesn't take a shift off, and you know what you're going to get out of him. You don't have to. With Rhett, I don't have to say much. I know that I can let him go out and do his thing, and he does, and he does a phenomenal job, and he's really taken that leadership role back there on the blue line for us, and I'm really looking forward to what's in hand for that kid too. Nick Peck, physical presence. That's something that I was kind of had a question mark coming into the season. Is what do we have for a physical presence, and we got to clean up some of the penalties, but. He's got that presence back on the blue line that I think helps some of these guys settle in and feel safe, and open up the ice for some of these speedy guys. So, no, the defensive core did a phenomenal job. Emery came back in the lineup from being hurt last weekend, and he did a great job. David did a great job. All 6 of them, phenomenal job. They made it a little bit more easier for me, on the fun side of things.
Sure, and then also, having another weekend where numbers I think don't necessarily justify, at least maybe not Friday nights, but yesterday's definitely did. Jared Stallman, net. He got the both starts for both games and performed from a broadcaster standpoint up in the press box. Like it looked like a very solid weekend, and he made some very stellar saves at times and big moments. But again, you mentioned, you talked about the goaltending situation you have, and just being a good one, and between him and Walker, some really solid competition. But what for Stall this weekend, how do you think he performed overall, and are you happy with obviously what you're seeing moving forward?
Oh, I'm very happy with Jared. A big thing for Jared was getting him back in here and again opening the door for a kid to have an opportunity, and he's a veteran to junior hockey, and for him it was battling back from his last season and kind of really who's going to take charge here, and he did a phenomenal job. I was very happy with his performance. He really took charge. And again, that's something for a coach. It helps you. It makes things easier on you when you know that the guy backstopping you. That last line of defense is really taking control out there. So he made some saves, and some of us it just make your head spin. And you can see that Jared's settling in.
Yeah.
And he's settling in, and he's making the saves, and he was actually making some breakout passes there on the power play, and so it's nice to have that. And my hats are off to that kid. I mean, he's worked hard this offseason. He worked hard coming in training camp. He's embraced the Knights, and it's kind of special for him too, because his brother used to play here a few years back, and he played 18 years. And I've actually known those two brothers back when I was in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And worked with them off ice, and I see a kid that has something special ahead of him, and then I'm looking forward to another boy right here that I'm looking forward to the future. So.
Absolutely. And now, real quick, we'll wrap things up. Your message to the team this week in practice as you guys get ready. You don't have to play till Sunday. Right. You have a game then on Monday at home. But just what's the overall message after coming off a big weekend like that?
Keep foot on the gas. Plain and simple. This week we need to make sure that we stay focused. We don't get too high, but we're also not too low. I really think I need to dial in on keeping us at a happy medium. Yeah. You come off 2 big wins, and now we're it evens the season up 500, and it's more so we need to learn, right. And it's still a learning process, and now it's learn how to keep the foot on the gas, keep doing what we're doing, keep learning the game of hockey, and most importantly, learn how to string a couple wins together. This is a tough league. It's not going to be 10 games in a row. It's going to be tough to string a couple wins together, and our division is tough. So it's important for us to play the Revolution and get those 2 points. And I said this weekend we're going to start writing that statement to the league. That we're the real deal. We're here, and I think this weekend is coming up is going to be the full statement, and that's my message to my team. We need to complete that statement. Let's let our presence be felt.
Sure. All right. Well, as I mentioned, the Knights will be on the road on Sunday, but they'll be back here 2:30 Monday, the 25th of September. So if you want to head down to the Revolution Ice Center, free admission, and the game will be broadcast on hockeytv.com. But Josh, thanks for giving us a few minutes here, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yep, you got it. Thanks.